How's it going, YouTube? It's the Blind Poet here, and just a sort of a disclaimer at the beginning of this video. This is probably going to be some of the most emotional stuff I've tackled in the very few videos that I've uploaded in my not yet 100-hour YouTube presence. But this is just something I've been thinking about all day because, it's definitely been a hard one for me today. I mean, just take a look at me. I ain't shaven. My eyes are, well, yeah. And I haven't been feeling myself. So I just figured as I reflect, tonight is the 15th night of the month of Ramadan. Now, as those who fast Ramadan know, it is a lunar schedule, meaning that when the sun sets tomorrow, 50% of the month will have officially gone. And it's a time every year that I look at sort of as my rejuvenation. People look at January 1st. Honestly, I judge my progress Ramadan to Ramadan, and it's a really healthy thing, I think, for me, because the journey that I've had to get to this point started, I'd say, about 6-7 years ago. I had always grown up praying to some capacity, praying and fasting Ramadan, and I did it, mostly out of an obligatory stance. I had nothing against it. However, it was, I was a lazy kid who wanted to play Melee instead of, get up and pray. Oh, I miss Melee. Who was y'all's favorite character? But, when I was about 21, 22, I just was feeling a bit lost. I just started university. I was one in 35,000 kids, and I was slowly losing my sight. But I did not want to admit that. So I just got angry. I just was like, why would this happen to me? And I just sort of really distanced myself from the religion. And like I said, I had a lot of this anger, and at this time I was experimenting with ways to sort of, suppress it and find the universe, as most college kids do, allegedly, and I thought I was happy at the time. I was hanging out with people that really didn't do much but, numb themselves out and watch stupid videos, and I almost felt like a novelty around them because they were so keen on describing videos to a blind guy. But, it was different than what I wanted, what I had grown up, so I would give it a try. But then when my sight went, I just sort of lost it in terms of my connection. I was like, how could this happen? Why should I thank, And I carried that negativity for a long time. And after a while, you just burn out. I'm just sitting there like one day, a couple of years ago, I'm like, I'm 25 years old and I feel way, way older. At this point, I trudge around for a couple days, just not even saying more than 20, 30 words. I got a degree and I got a job. Literally, when I'd be working, I'd work from home and just type on my phone and be so scared to take calls for no apparent reason, and I had no idea why. I had the luxury of throwing myself into college when it first happened, but after I had some, part-time work at home, it was just different, and I had no way to cope. And I thought I needed to be retrained as a blind person, when that wasn't the case at all. My confidence was just destroyed. So, after leaving the training facility, I just remember sitting there one day, and I say, I give up. I got nothing, and I sort of ceded the reins, if you will. Now, I want to explain something about my connection to the religion of Islam. And again, this is my connection and my connection only. I grew up, obviously, as a Muslim, but I've always looked into it because I think it's fascinating. Oh my God, I need some water. I'm fasting, but, no pain without gain. However, when I realized that I'm just one in 7.5 billion people on this earth, who the hell was I to know the answers and stuff? Just because I had an IQ a little bit higher than everybody else's, that didn't mean anything. What privilege did I have? I was lazy, I was unmotivated, and I just had to realize and accept that, I don't have all the control. And you know what? When I did that, it was so easy. I wish I could sit here and say it was an overnight transformation, and the next night I went, the next summer I went and made a pilgrimage, but, to this day, I struggle with consistency. God is a very benevolent being, in my opinion, and during this month of Ramadan, I've had some great moments and I've had some terrible moments, and there's still another half of it to go. The point of this is self-reflection, and it's shown me that I've got a long way to go in my recovery, but it's really not about the destination, it's just about the journey. And if I can leave you guys with one message about this quarantine, because you'd be lying to me if you said you haven't had some pretty down existential thoughts during these months alone. In my case, with quarantine, recovering from a surgery, waiting for another surgery, in this dismal weather during the month of Ramadan, I've had so much time to think and reflect. And I'm here to tell you that freedom is a choice. Meaning, freedom isn't being able to run and go to the stores and stuff. Freedom is you choose to be happy. I know that's a very broad statement, but I think in this society, a lot of self responsibility is not taken. A lot of the feelings that I feel, I can admit are, I take full responsibility for not learning early or better coping mechanisms. But I'm very glad for the journey because it's made me the person who I've become. And I just leave you friends with a bit of hope, like I said in the last video, because if I didn't have hope, then I couldn't get up to fight tomorrow. And you know what? If I can do it, you guys better be able to do it. So I'll see you guys around for the next video.